Welcome to Triumph and Disaster, a show dedicated to manly creativity and culture. Brought to you by your host, Cameron McHarg.
Hey guys, it's Cameron McHarg. We're back for another episode of Triumph and Disaster, and this episode is kind of a special one. It's all about movies. It's a cinephile episode. It's with Daniel Freedman and Matthew Wilder, who are both successful screenwriters and filmmakers. And we just all sit down, kind of round table, sort of old school salon, coffee house kind of thing, and talk about movies. What is it about movies? Pick them apart. What is it that makes them good? What's that all about? And I had such a good time with this, and I'm really glad we recorded it. So if you're into movies at all, curious about movies, if you're a cinephile, I think you'll enjoy this. So here we go. Triumph and Disaster with Matthew Wilder and Daniel Freedman.
So we're back with Matthew Wilder, and we're having a dynamic duo with Daniel Freedman this week. And ready to say something?
Say hello.
So we already started shooting the shit, and I just decided to turn it on because we were talking about kind of thing. So
we can share.
Yeah, you can pass back. So you said, you know anything about Ken Thing or like doing something else? Or it's like 9 years old, he turned 9 years old.
I knew this crazy kid who, Paz de la Huerta turned me on to this crazy kid who, she said, this guy's looking to do a biopic on Aleister Crowley.
Yeah.
You know, the great Satanist.
I think there's been scripts around for
so many.
God, I can't. Why am I not thinking of his name right now? But the guy who's the big, he's just in the Mad Max.
In it, Tom Hardy.
Yeah, Tom Hardy. I heard Tom Hardy was going to play Crowley.
Oh, really?
Maybe with Refn.
Oh,
that
makes sense.
Yeah, I read something about that here. I think that'd be pretty cool. But anyway, yeah. So
Crowley. There's another guy. Do you know who the Dark Brothers are? The Dark Brothers, the 80s porn directors.
Why do I not know that? Seriously. Anyway.
I mean, like, there are not that many 80s porn auteurs. And, you know, they were among the only.
They were
ones.
special.
Greg Dark was one of them, and he did Britney Spears videos, and then Britney's dad found out that Greg Dark was a porn guy and a pimp, and went crazy and tried to beat him up or something. Greg Dark approached me to do an Aleister Crowley biopic. So somehow,
really,
yeah, like I don't, because I'm bald. I guess people think
maybe he knows about Crowley. Yeah,
they think I must be an Aleister Crowley person. So she said, "Oh, this guy wants to do Aleister Crowley biopic." I don't know why I'm giving her that voice, but she wants to do an Aleister Crowley biopic. So I went to this kid's house who lives in the hills, in this macabre house with stairs that are like a ladder that goes straight up. It's like super cardio,
narrow,
like,
and 100 feet.
You have to to get up there. And it turned out that this was, if you know this guy, Donald Cammell, the guy who co-directed Performance.
Oh yes, yeah, he was really the OTO too.
Who committed horrific suicide.
I did not know that.
And it turned out this kid was a Satanist who rented out this house because Donald Cammell had killed himself in the house. And it turned out that Donald Cammell had taken a room and redressed it to be like the ending of Performance, you know, when Rick Jagger gets shot in the head, the bullet goes through the brain, foreheads, and all that stuff. He dressed the room to be like the death scene of Performance. And he rigged the camera and did the last lines from Performance and then said some kind of farewell, fuck you to the world, and then blew his brains out on camera. And apparently his widow has the only existing film of his suicide. So this kid was a real dick, and this really freaked me out, this whole thing about being just in the room of Donald Cammell's suicide.
Yeah.
And this kid said, I said, "Where's the bathroom?" And he's like, "Oh, I think it's over there." And so I walked into this eerie room that, I walked into, and I'm like, "What is this?" And he's like, "Oh, that's the room where Donald Cammell blew his brains out." And I sort of ran out there. Because I was like, I don't want to be around that shit.
That's crazy.
But this kid had this a movie from the 40s or early 50s, I forget which one it is, the inauguration of the Pleasure Dome, I think, that Ken Thanger directed, and he had a triptych three different separate frames playing at once, like Warhol's Chelsea Girl. So three frames at once. And it had music by ELO and Jimmy Page that had never been heard before.
Jimmy Page is another guy involved.
He's another guy who was involved with Anger and Satan and Bobby Beausoleil, the Manson family guy. But anyway, this kid had this movie. Three panels. It was mind-blowing. And the ELO score and the Jimmy Page music and all this stuff, I was like, oh my God. It was like, when you hear people having, a Jackson Pollock painting behind their grandpa's couch in their house that's $1 million and it's just sitting there for 20 years.
It was an original score by ELO?
It was an original score by ELO.
Okay.
And Jimmy Page. And it had sat on the screen for decades.
How was it?
It was incredible. So I say to this kid, this should be the centerpiece of the next Cannes Film Festival, and you could show this at MoMA, and you could have a whole revival of Kenneth Anger, and blah, just this work alone would blow people's minds so much, it would reanimate Kenneth Anger.
Yeah.
And of course, like Anger, this kid was totally paranoid. He was like, fuck that. I'm not going to let other people watch this. They're going to try and rip me off, steal my movies, take my shit. And I have no idea. So I think someone said that they played it privately at Billy Wilder here for a night. They just projected it from a laptop or something for friends. But this is something, I swear to God, if you saw this, it would be the event of the year. It would be this epic, huge, people would be lining up all over and rewatching Kenneth Anger and stuff.
Yeah,
and
resurgence of
he's just nuts.
I think Jimmy Page did the soundtrack for Lucifer Rising.
Yeah, for Lucifer Rising.
Yeah.
Well, Beausoleil did the soundtrack.
They did?
He may have it too, but I know Jimmy Page wrote music for and Mick Jagger wrote for Anger. Yeah.
Yeah, Page also did the score for Death Wish 2 or 3.
Really?
Really good score. But yeah, no, I like Beausoleil. I was just reading about Beausoleil recently and his whole story. And how he claims he's still in prison, but he claims he was never actually part of the Manson family. It was all just a big mix-up, and he got pulled into the murders. But he actually did shoot somebody. But it's a really complicated story, but interesting. And he's been playing in prison. They have a band, and they get to actually perform. There's a YouTube channel.
What?
And they have all his performances up where him and his band play from within whatever prison they're in.
How do you spell his name so people can look up that?
I have no idea how to spell Beausoleil. But Bobby Beausoleil, yeah. Just look up...
French. Beausoleil. Beautiful song.
Okay.
Yeah. Wasn't there something... Remember when that really hot chick was going to marry Charles Manson? You remember this? 2 years ago? She was writing a letter. She showed up and she was just awesomely hot.
Yeah.
Girl. Someone told me that he figured out that all she wanted was after he was dead, that she was going to keep his corpse in her house or something, put it on display, and then he was like, fuck you, and then that was the end. That was the end of their
what's up with him?
arrangement.
Is he sick and in the hospital now?
I heard he was
recently.
Yeah.
There was another a side note. We've talked about this before because I'm talking to Daniel right now. You've written some scripts that have to do with some of this occult, esoteric kind of stuff, the crowley stuff. Where you were kind of interested in that. There was I don't know if you know, there's a guy named Jack Parsons.
Of course. Oh yeah.
Okay, you know about this guy. So there's literally a huge crater on the dark side of the moon named the Jack Parsons.
JPL guy, right?
On the dark side of the moon, which is he's a major, one of the founders of the JPL.
And an Anton LaVey follower.
Yes, an OTO, a Crowley guy. And there was some kind of a crazy. He had these huge these ritual orgies and things in Pasadena, and I think he died in some kind of weird explosion.
Right.
And I always thought that would be a great guy to make a movie. I'm sure there's a million scripts about that guy out there too.
It was a great story. Somebody actually talked to me about that once too, and then they said, and I was like, wow, yeah, by day you were literally a rocket scientist in Orange County, wherever it was that he was.
Pasadena.
Yeah. And then by night you're a, Crowley Satanist, blood orgies, drinking
totally
out of a
active.
goat's skull. And they're like, well, yeah, but couldn't it be more like the right stuff? Literally. I was like, why? Why would you do that? Like, let's do that, but just take all the cool stuff and throw it out. Just make it about a guy looking at a rocket.
Yeah, I'm interested. I've been. The thing that didn't get a lot of coverage was the whole when Scalia died on the Supreme Court.
Oh, yeah.
You know, judge. When he died in that weird lodge. Did you hear about all this stuff?
What?
He died in this weird lodge.
I didn't know that.
Full of esoteric shit. They had like bunk beds in the hallways. There was weird, paraphernalia and masks and stuff on the walls. And it was this like, I don't know if it was Mason. It was sort of, somewhat Masonic. Weird, like super elite secret society. And then he actually died. That's where he actually died. It just got,
completely swept under the rug.
Mm-hmm. There's photos of it, though. You can look at the lodge. You can go find it online.
I had some Lyft driver recently going into all the Alex Jones, Illuminati things. And then I just played dumb and I was sort of like, hey, have you ever seen this movie called Eyes Wide Shut?
Yeah, I was just thinking of that.
And he's like, yeah. And I was like, do you know anything about that? And he goes, yeah, the guy that made that movie was murdered by the Illuminati and the Rockefellers and
they took out Cougar.
Ariana Huffington, and he had this whole litany of the people who killed Kubrick. I was like, wow, that's awesome. Because he was going to expose.
Yeah. Blow the lid off the Kubrick.
No, the Kubrick was going to expose.
Oh, he was right.
The elite.
Yeah. And so they had the moon landing thing, right?
No.
He was going to expose
Eyes
the
Wide
fact
Shut
that
was
he
going to have
more in that movie alone. Not to mention that he
further
faked the moon
into the
landing
evils of the elite.
government, right? Yeah. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, the moon landing was fine. No one cared about that. He went too far with Eyes Wide Shut. But I have seen some photos from the 70s of like a Rothschild party that.
Oh yeah,
too.
Yeah.
They have the very surreal horn.
Yeah.
Crazy like dinner
Weird
party with
curved nose. They look like they're out of a. I can't think of his name. The painter that does all the crazy, scary stuff. The Renaissance Bosch. Yeah. They look like painting like something from right out of that. By the way, I want to just touch. We just launched right into this, but just so everybody knows, I'm sure I'll do this in the intro here. This is a move. We're going all over the place, but we're just talking about movies and stuff in this thing. It's not. We're not like pimping somebody's project or anything like that. We came with Wilder came up with this idea just to talk about. I'm kind of saying why is what I'm kind of trying to do here. About movies and what. Movies did. All right, you guys there. What makes movies good? What makes movies good or bad? So that's sort of the general topic that we're going to get into, but we're going to veer all around to crazy conspiracy Rothschilds, sex parties as well.
Just the thing is, just to speak to that, I mean, the thing that I was thinking about when I called you up to ask you about this was I said, because people are, like on Facebook, people are compulsive list. I certainly compulsive list maker. And I thought, what's the difference between when people list their favorite movies versus if someone asked you to make a list of the greatest movies? And I think for almost everyone, those two lists would in some way be not probably totally different, but they would be a little different. And why?
Like you just recently, what was it? It was like, what's your favorite movie that you genuinely like, but it's like...
that not one other person likes.
Yeah,
like,
it's like
movies that just
it's like how
everyone
could you admit
despises.
that? Yeah.
Right. Not, which is not to say like, oh, it's a guilty pleasure, but I mean movies that like
really like.
every fucking person hates.
I said
Red
Red
Dawn.
I think a lot of people like Red Dawn.
Yeah, I like Red Dawn.
Did either of you guys like Only God Forgives?
Love.
Yeah.
I loved it too, and that has been no one has liked that movie.
I didn't see it. I think that's the only Redford movie I haven't seen.
It's one of the best.
Really?
I think so.
It's a hard movie to watch not in a theater. I think it really benefits from being watched in a theater.
That's true of all of his, for
I
sure.
saw it on VOD.
Oh,
You did.
When it dropped on VOD at midnight, I watched it.
But there is no bigger fan of Neon Demon than you.
I think I like it more than I like it. How do you feel about that?
I appreciated Neon Demon, but I didn't love it.
It has a small but dedicated cadre of love.
Yeah. I really appreciated it, and I really like that he made it, and I'll go see anything he says, or he makes. But for me personally, I didn't love it. What did you love about it so much?
I was talking to somebody about this yesterday. Actually, it's like it's hard to describe, except that I saw it 4 times in theater, and every time I was totally entranced, like just hypnotized, like in a sexual way almost, like in the sense that somebody would just put the whammy on you, put the booty on you. Like I watched it every time, just beginning to end, without breaking my focus at all. And I find that movie to me, it's very haunting. There's something very melancholy and haunting about it.
Always is everything he does, though. That's always that's an element that's in all his movies.
But everyone I say that to, because what the fuck is wrong with you? That movie's so obviously stupid. And I was like, I mean, I guess it's obviously stupid, but I feel like, I remember when people laughed at Blue Velvet, too. Because there were things
what was
in that
stupid about it?
Well, it's like a simple story. A girl comes to L.A. and gets tarnished by, the dark forces of Hollywood. The dialogue is kind of dorky, but I think it's that way deliberately.
I think your comparison to Blue Velvet's a really good one, actually.
I mean, it has that. Blue Velvet has this kind of stilted weirdness that, if you don't know better, you would think it's a mistake. You think it's just bad film.
A lot of Lynch is like that.
Yeah.
Is it camp? Is this on purpose? Is it supposed to be like that?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, there's a certain awkwardness. I mean, at least more to Lynch.
Yeah.
But
well, he has a lot of definite, I think, intentional awkwardness for sure. He has a lot of these weird pauses that go a little too far.
Yeah.
These little stilted moments where it's like you feel a little uncomfortable. I think I know exactly what you're talking about. Even in Eraserhead.
Yeah, but I mean, I think that's all intentional.
I think so.
That's all by design, because he's fucking with the form in the audience and manipulating you to feel a certain way at a certain time. To then, I mean, I think you could look at it mistakenly as bad filmmaking or whatever, but it's actually masterful in its design.
I can only say I saw that picture the day that it came out. I took a train to New York when it opened in 1986. All I knew was that it was a David Lynch movie about a detective in a small town. Which you think, well, I don't know, it sounds like whatever, Fargo or something. And I can't tell, I literally, there's never been any experience before or since of a movie audience that was so traumatized by a movie like they were about that. I mean, it was literally like you were just ambushed by this movie that you were not expecting. And certainly when you see the beginning, very stylized, small town life, you don't expect when you get to the Dennis Hopper part that it's going to be so savage as it is in that movie. And I've never seen an audience react. It was like the reaction of an audience to like seeing a car crash death in front of you on the street. Like, I mean,
like audible gas.
Yeah, and yet of course at the end, like everybody kind of wanted to go back and watch it again. But it really was like I've never.
What an amazing experience, though, to be in the theater at that time and not knowing what to expect and having that. See, this is the difference, by the way, about seeing shit in the theater as well. The way it's supposed to be, the communal experience. That's important. I mean, that's a whole different thing than experiencing that alone. When everybody, there's audibly gas or there's you're all in this together. That's going crazy for it.
No, I was just going to say, I just saw John Wick 2 with a full audience, sold out Friday night show, and seeing it with that audience that was that excited and that reactive made the movie that much better.
Fun.
I don't know anything about those movies. What are they about? I know that someone gets their dog killed. That's all.
They're in the best way a throwback to 80s action movies. They're the closest one. Commando. They're the closest thing to a modern day Commando, where you have a one-man army kicking ass and taking names in a way that is completely self-aware and embraces all of its charm.
Do you know what? Speaking of that, 80s action movies and all this stuff, and what we're talking about, this on the same subject. I remember seeing Rocky IV in the theater when I was a kid. Okay. fucking crowd jumped to their feet.
Well,
This is during the
4 or
Reagan.
5.
It was during Ivan the
Before
Russian.
It's
Yeah.
the adult.
It was during
longer,
it was during the Reagan era, and the crowd, and I was in the suburbs. The crowd jumped to their fucking
I know,
feet.
I saw it too. A guy jumped to his feet and did the V with his arm.
Yes, but
Yeah.
I tell you, I mean, it's the movie aside, that experience was really fucking exciting. As a kid, it's one of the things that makes movies so special, and we can lie, and it is funny, considering what the movie was. But I really think that's the way to experience it.
I mean, you were just talking about guilty pleasures or
Yeah.
bad movies that you really like. I mean, I grew up on all the 80s action and horror films, and now when I go to something like the New Beverly and you get to see one of those, or even like one of the 70s grindhouse movie, those movies don't really work if you watch them alone. But if you watch them with an audience, especially late at night, and maybe there's
People are stoned. Yeah.
people are high or drunk or having a good time, those movies are so much fun to watch. And they're not good movies, but they make for great viewing experiences.
Yeah.
At least for me. At least I get off on them. I have a blast.
Why does nobody ever revive movies from the 80s that were actually good?
Like what?
Once Upon a Time in America, The King of Comedy. Like they never people will watch like Krull 100 times, or like The Lost Boys, but they never watch.
Yeah, I like The
movies
Lost Boys.
But no, it's
Come
like
on.
no
Kiefer
one watches
Sutherland's
anything
mullet
that
was
is
really
actually
cool.
good. What?
Kiefer Sutherland's mullet in that time, he was the coolest guy. What year did it come out? Like 86 or something? Anyway.
I just think there's a lack of filmmakers working on that level today.
Of those.
Yeah.
Those kinds of films,
I'd be afraid to touch one of those things. Yeah, you're gonna remake them? You mean? Is that what you're
No.
suggesting? Or what do
I'm
you-
saying when you go to the New Beverly or the Egyptian
I
or
see.
something, they will play The Lost Boys,
Right.
but they won't play the 80s
Well,
movies. I think are
on
actually
a Friday
really
night or something,
good.
midnight. But
Oh,
I mean,
they
they
play
play-
that shit all the time.
really?
Yeah,
They don't-
you can see Army of Darkness every week, twice
Sure,
a week.
but they're not programming things like that for you? Is it like at the New Beverly?
I don't think they don't give a shit about it.
From time to time. I mean, what did we go see recently? That Mickey Rourke movie?
You're the dragon.
Yeah, that was
That's somewhere in between.
Chimino. Yeah. But I just don't think that there's a lot of directors today working that are making movies on that level. Whether or not, I don't know if it's because there aren't any filmmakers or just because they're not being allowed to, or it's not what's being made, but I would lean towards that it's just not, it's not being allowed, or there's no one attempting.
I think I would say something a little bit different, which is I think there are now. I think you see as many in a year as many good auteur movies as you would say 1970. There's Woody Allen, there's Terrence Malick, there's PTA, there's QT, there's that, but however many handful of people. The thing that I think is kind of different is I don't know if I've seen so much with the 80s, but certainly 70s and before. I think it's like the bread and butter movies that have gotten worse. That in the 70s, of kind of what we would generally consider back in the day like a pretty shitty movie.
Mm-hmm.
You watch it now and you go, hey, this is pretty good. Like it's pretty well written, the acting's pretty good. It's pretty solid. Even a pretty, a Charles Bronson Western from 1976 that's not with a great director. You probably watch it now and it's like pretty solid. Whereas I find now, I saw this movie last night called A Cure for Wellness.
Oh, the Gore Verbinski.
Gore Verbinski.
Any good?
It plays like some like a college kid's riff on Shutter Island. It's set in a madhouse, and Dane DeHaan, who looks like Leo, is walking around and crazy shit's happening. It's 147 fucking minutes long. 147. That should be like 85 minutes long. Square kid goes to a crazy house. They lock him up and pretend he's crazy. Shit happens. Blah blah. Like, really? Does it have to have 17 endings like Pirates of the Caribbean 4? Why? Like that's something that 60 years ago would have been an awesome little bottom of the double
Samuel
barrel
Fuller
Yeah.
movie or something, right?
shot corridor.
That's what I was thinking. Yeah.
And now it's 147 minute gross, really gross, blood squirting out of people's broken teeth. It's just foul and inept. Where's the Craftsman? the B craftsman.
The B craftsman.
Yeah, I mean, like not the Oscar movies,
like
but
Samuel
the
Fuller,
good, like Sam Fuller. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Are there any of those? Like
I mean,
a B movie would be like basically
a genre movie.
Something that goes right to Netflix, I guess, right?
Not even.
How would you?
I would say Wick
a
is
theatrical.
a B movie. Yeah,
theatrical.
You would say that? Yeah. I mean, it may not be budget-wise a B movie, but
but its content
tone
is
of
a B
a
movie. It's a genre movie designed to just be exactly what it is and to be fun.
Does that even exist in the theaters?
What?
Theatrically, I don't even know if that exists. Does it? Something that's sort of what would essentially be like a drive-in movie.
Well, I mean, what is all the Transformers and all this garbage? I mean, aren't those B movies? Just made for $150 million.
Yeah, but they're huge.
But I mean, they're filling the void that the B movies fill. I mean, they're right. Am I wrong?
Do you guys follow these movies? Like, I somehow like I make a point to not see these movies. They're sort of like, I guess you consider them like the Sundance version of like B genre movies, like The Witch and Green Room and stuff like that.
I do. I'm very much into that stuff. I mean,
and those movies are good.
The Green Room is fantastic. I mean, it's a 100% straight ahead genre film, but it's really well done. It's one of the few movies I've seen in the past 5 years where I didn't know what was going to happen, and I didn't know who was going to die, and that alone was thrilling. To just be able to watch a movie and actually be in suspense, which very rarely, at least for me, happens anymore. The Witch was, I think a lot of people like The Witch. The Witch is really interesting. I appreciated the film.
I did.
I mean, both those films, and there's a couple others from this past year, kind of fall into this new wave of art house work. And those, for me, are some of the only movies being made that are interesting at all compared to what else. I mean, they're the only things that are unique and have actual, I hate the word vision, but they're movies made with style and they're unique and they don't play like normal movies do. They're different.
Do you feel like as soon as you hear Sundance, you just instantly think, oh, that's it's a director from Brooklyn with a bow tie? Is that what the problem is? And
Well,
like, do you write off Sundance movies now?
yeah.
Well, because I mean, those movies to me are sort of the only thing interesting being made anymore. That these low budget, they're not always genre, but they're generally the sort of more outside of the box festival run. Like I saw a film last year that's going to come out this year called Bad Batch.
I saw that.
Did you like it? No, I loved it. I didn't like Girl Walks Home at Night, but I really liked.
I think I had a little more energy.
I could see that. I just really enjoyed. I've been looking for things that are new and fresh and different because everything feels the same to me these days. So yeah, that's interesting.
Yeah, I really didn't dig either of those. I thought like this chick found a DP who had this very oily black and white look. It was kind of cool, and that's all she wrote. Like I was kind of like, well, that's kind of nice looking. That's it. But that's sometimes that's enough. You know.
So what have you liked in the past year or two?
What have I liked? Well, the movie that I love that I'm just honestly shocked that people didn't respond to it at all. Is Scorsese's movie Silence.
I like Silence.
Here's one of these things. Okay, I really, really respected it. I saw a lot of Kurosawa in that movie too. I saw like a lot. It seemed like it was almost directed by him in a lot of ways. But I felt like it was. I felt like it was a little self-indulgent. I did. I felt like we're getting with Catholicism.
I mean, it was reviewed in this very shruggy, meh kind of way, and I gather, I don't talk to very many people. I know a few people who were very moved by it. I was destroyed by this movie.
Yeah, really?
I mean, just absolutely, like Schindler's List kind of way.
Really?
Destroyed. Completely destroyed. Just walked around speechless after the movie was over. And I was kind of surprised that more people didn't feel that way. And my hunch about it is, I think people were just so decimated by Trump winning that they couldn't deal with something as heavyweight as Silence, and so they had to, I guess they could deal with like Moonlight or something, but they couldn't deal with something so incredibly heavy as this movie, and they had to go to La La Land.
Right. You might have a point.
Well, I mean, one thing with Silence is it's a movie about, at least for me, it was about grappling with the concept of suffering within the context of Christianity. And I think that's not it's a hard subject for your normal audience goer for that to penetrate, because either they're a religious person who doesn't want to think about it or have to question the morality of their religion, or they're an atheist or a non-believer who the movie just wasn't interesting to them.
But that to me is like, it's like saying you're an atheist and you can't get Silence. It's like saying like, oh, I'm not a monarchist, so I can't watch a Shakespeare tragedy about kings. I mean, it's like, if you can't project into the issues of that movie without having to be Catholic, it could be the movie could be about anyone. It could be about Muslims. It could be about anything. I think it's also about politics too. It's about the Japanese keeping out the influence of the West, which is a very legitimate thing. As much as the priest's point of view is legitimate, I think that idea of like, hey, we're a tiny island and we're going to keep the rest of these invaders out.
I agree.
Very legitimate.
That was one of the things I enjoyed most about the movie, was the fact that it wasn't preachy, that it was actually a conversation, and that both sides were allowed the opportunity to talk. That was my favorite part about the movie.
To me, the thing that was moving about it was the notion that you could be the most anonymous person in the world. You can meet some peasant that's going to be put in a mass grave tomorrow, and whether you make this choice to betray your faith or not is of infinite importance. And I think, especially right now, that's an important, powerful idea.
How did you feel about the last shot in the movie, if you remember it?
So. I kind of wonder about that. I felt like it was trying to wrap things up in a way that I don't know if people have seen the movie or not, but
we won't give it away. But that last shot,
not give it away. But it kind of puts a bow on it at the end in a way that I thought
a little too cute for you. Yeah.
So speaking of that, putting a little bow on the end of it, in a general sense, I mean, I love what we're talking about because we could go anywhere with this. It doesn't matter. But in a general sense, as far as movies and what makes them good and what is a common problem, this bow on the end thing, is this like an issue that this is one of the issues to touch on regarding what would make a movie bad potentially in your opinion?
Isn't it kind of great?
I mean, it depends on what the movie is.
The opposite of that, I remember an audience seeing a No Country for Old Men with a preview audience, and at the end,
my favorite movie.
When is it your favorite movie?
It's my all-time favorite movie.
Really? Yeah. Well, in the last moment of the movie, when Tommy Lee finishes what he's saying about the dream, and then it cuts to credits, the audience literally gasped at the unfinishedness of the movie. That he says this dream, you don't get really what it means, and then written and directed by blah blah. And the audience went, oh!
Loved it.
I've never seen anything like that in a movie. And it was pleasure, and you could tell it was satisfying, too, that people were satisfied by being unsatisfied in a certain way, because it was such a daring way to put a period on something.
Yeah.
You could tell the audience just dug it.
That and having Judge Brolin's character taken on the way they did at the time he did. Another
Mm-hmm.
I think it's actually a flawless movie. I'm going to go that far.
Really?
I really love it that much.
I kind of always wondered. I always liked it, but I sort of wondered what's the point of this movie? Except life sucks.
Yeah.
Well, I think it's the other thing you have to do with No Country is look at it as a Cormac story, not just a Coen Brothers movie.
But but both of them. I'm sorry, but they're both extremely existential. His books and their movies, so they kind of are a perfect match.
But to me, Cameron and I had a conversation recently about No Country because I rewatched it. But to me, it fits much more sort of in line with the rest of Cormac's books in terms of what it's about than maybe it's very Coen Brothers and has dealt with a lot of their themes. But when I watched it this last time, I looked at it through the lens of being written by Cormac, and for some reason, the movie just made perfect sense in a way that's never made sense to me. And that sort of came down to me realizing that Sugar was the hero of the movie.
I think that's fascinating. Go on about that, because I think this is really interesting. We talked about this once, and I watched it again from that point of view, and then I was fucking blown away. So can you talk a little more about that?
Sure. I mean, I'll try to remember. They basically, I watched it and it felt like Sugar is the hero because I'm trying to remember months ago. Essentially, if you look at it, I think with Format and Coen Brothers, they deal with morality a lot, sort of the veil of morality and how it doesn't exist, or that it's a farce. And then Sugar embodies that because he's the only character in the story who never goes back on his own word, and he's fully proactive, and he, in his own way, is the only character that keeps to his code. Because Josh Brolin dies because he goes to talk to that girl at the pool and sort of stops paying attention and, in a way, commits his own form of adultery on his wife, and so he dies for committing that sin. And then Tommy Lee, who's this committed sheriff, retires and gives up. And in the end, his wife, he's saying, I can help around the house now more. And his wife is like, don't bother, you're no longer needed or wanted. And he goes and talks to his brother about, having this dream about his father dying. So Sugar is the only one in the end who is still going and following through with what he committed to do. And so he may not be a hero in the sense of, good and evil and whatnot, but he's the dramatic hero in that he sticks to his guns. And he commits to his code and he honors it throughout the whole movie.
Have you ever seen the movie that Tommy Lee did of Mark McCarthy's play called The Sunset Movie?
Yeah, with Sam Jackson.
Have you ever seen that?
I started to, and I didn't finish it. Not because I was bored, but I was fascinated by it.
It's fantastic because with that, I feel like he strips everything plot-wise away. It's about a guy who's going to jump off a subway platform, and another guy who saves his life and drives him in or can't do it. And it's just an argument between life and death. Mm-hmm. And it's dazzling. I mean, you strip things down to about as simple as they could possibly be, but as urgent as they can be. And it's just fucking dazzling. And the two guys, Sam Jackson and Tommy Lee Jones, they both are at their peak.
Yeah, it's captivating. Yeah.
It's the only film to play probably that you could say that about.
Two guys sitting in a room would be captivating.
It's an actual play, essentially a play. It is a play, but I mean filmed almost as a play, and it's still cinematic.
I love stage.
Really?
I love it.
You do? Okay, this goes back to our subject matter then. Because we're talking about a lot of movies here, and you mentioned Neon Demon is at the top of your list. If you just grab a handful of movies off the top of your head that we're not going to say favorite because we talked about that subject, but that you think are some of the best movies that you've ever seen. Okay. So maybe you can grab. I'm guessing Neon Demon is one of them.
We would not put that in best film of all time.
But let's grab like the top 5 that you think are the best, and you can throw them out there and you can to Daniel, and then why? Like, what is it within those? What is it that you're looking for to hit all your buttons to make
that would put in great list of great films? Yeah,
and why would it? I mean, what is it that?
Okay.
Like, for example, when you were talking Neon Demon, you were saying how you were entranced. You were kind of, it activated your subconscious, maybe in a way. So that might be one reason why you would qualify a movie as a good one.
Yeah.
So just maybe touching on some movies that would be categorized as some of the best, and why are they the best? What is it that makes them the best?
Well, you're asking about what we think are the best films or our favorite?
Best films, yeah.
Best films.
Yeah. Quality ones. We're not talking about Rocky IV.
Right. Well, I mean, I feel that inevitably you're going to end up with a lot of the same top 10.
But why is that? But why? What is it that makes it so? You can throw a couple of examples out if you think of. I mean, what is it that happens? What is it that it activates within you, or makes you feel, or makes you think, or what is it that you experience that satisfies you?
Well, for me, I think the best films, or at least my favorite of the best films, are films that ask questions that make you think without giving you any answers.
No Country for Old Men.
No Country falls into that. I mean, one of my all-time favorites, which I think is undoubtedly one of the best movies ever made, would be 2001. It is a movie that gives you nothing but questions and lets you leave the theater thinking about them probably for the rest of your life. As opposed to something like Interstellar, which does the exact opposite, which is asks a bunch of questions, but by the end of the movie gives you all theoretical answers to these questions of space and science, and throws them away like they don't matter to instead, honor the sentimentality of a father-daughter relationship that doesn't matter in the scope of things. I don't know. What do you go ahead?
Oh, I was just thinking. What you're saying. Like the thing that I found so genius about 2001 that no other film has is it is so it's so much the work of a technocrat and so much the work of a guy who understands technology, both technology of filmmaking and technology of space and rockets and things. And the first half hour of the movie, you watch these things where literally you're like watching ships land and music's playing and you watch them land and not slow motion but slowly, doors opening and closing, all this mechanical stuff. And you think, well, this is a movie about machines.
Technology.
And the only character in the movie really is a machine. But then he makes this incredible move where this very materialist, concrete movie about objects. And I think probably most of the movie photographs objects more than even people.
Or photographs people like us.
Or people like little bugs within a big object. And then in that last couple of reels, it moves to a completely poetic, transcendent place that has nothing to do with blueprints and mechanics and how things work. I mean, we don't know how those things work. We don't even know what they are. Mm-hmm. But you feel it. I mean, I saw that movie as a little tiny kid, and I remember you feel that power of what's beyond the human. In a way that, and I thought it's just like it's one of those like super simple ideas. Start with the True Value Hardware Store handbook, and then end with William Blake.
But isn't that what a movie about space exploration should do?
How many? Yeah, I mean, some do that, but
right.
Not. I mean, really,
most don't. What I'm saying,
Solaris maybe.
Solaris is also really good in a completely different kind of way, yeah. But at least most American films about space are not about space and the questions that arise from exploration and what's out there and science.
Spirituality, really.
And spirituality.
It's about,
However
you define it. No, go ahead.
Another one of my favorites, which I think a lot of people would put up there on the best, is also Apocalypse Now.
Yes.
It's somewhat a little more divisive than 2001, but which is funny because it's constructed in the opposite way of 2001, in that it was a complete and utter disaster of a shoot that then came together in post.
But wasn't it shit on too? Wasn't it shit on when it came out?
When it first
generally?
I mean,
I don't think
it was bad. Was nominated for Best Picture.
It can, but I think
it
can, but that doesn't mean it's going to be successful.
Yeah. Was it in between the two Godfathers or after Godfather 2?
It was after.
After Godfather 2, okay.
I think it was 79.
Yeah, so coming off those, it was going to be hard to live up to anything.
Yeah.
So.
But the thing I find interesting about Apocalypse Now is, thinking of it with 2001 is, I feel like, I don't know, for you guys, it changes. When I watch it, my take on it changes a lot over the years. I watch it sometimes. Sometimes the ending seems brilliant to me, and sometimes it seems really cheesy. Like, wow, he really just was vamping and letting Brando grasp at straws. But the thing that's just, to me, is so interesting about it is, I watch that now and I think, there's kind of no other way this movie could end but in that kind of inarticulate, in that last sequence with Brando, you're grasping for, oh my God, Coppola's going to nail it in this scene, and it kind of just dissolves as you're watching it, like it falls apart. But it seems to me like that's the only way that journey could have ended. is in that kind of failure.
Well, that sort of parallels Coppola not even knowing how to end the movie for a year and a half they were shooting.
You know, I read the original John Milius script when the ending.
Oh,
It's like
they blow it up.
Oh my god!
compound,
It's like
right?
this massive, it's helicopter assault. Yeah, it's like this totally different thing.
Well, that's,
which
you got
obviously
to end
didn't
it
happen.
somehow. Like, right? Like you got to, it's got to have some kind of ending. And Francis is like, no, we can't do that.
Yeah, either that or he ran out of money.
But I mean, I guess up there. Also, the other movie. I mean, the thing that's similar between those two movies is that they're about men on some kind of quest where they're going deeper and deeper into something. I mean, maybe that's just a narrative I respond to. But I mean, Eyes Wide Shut has that kind of structure as well as a one guy going deeper and deeper and following one guy into something. And that sort of all those films, the characters are sort of exploring these new worlds. And I respond to that. That's what hooks me and gets me into it, as opposed to a lot of movies which tell you what's going on, they tell you how to feel, they tell you what the right answer is. So I think, going back to the question of what makes a movie good, is that I think most movies aren't good because they tell the audience how to feel.
Can I just add in one little thing about the ending of Apocalypse Now? I would, if I ever meet Francis someday, I want to ask him about this, because I saw the movie with my dad the first week that it opened, and I still have. They had a thing where they gave out programs.
Yeah, I remember that.
Because there were in the first week in the
Roadshow
script
style.
that yeah. Well, yeah. I don't know if you intended to be roadshow style, but it had no credits yet.
Mm-hmm.
So most people know the version that ends with you see napalm exploding, and then there's jangling music, and then there's the credits of it. But in this version, it ended with Sheen is walking out past all the Montagnards and gets back in the boat, and you hear the PBR Street Gang thing on the radio, and there's that sound of the rain.
Yeah.
And
You
they're
hear
getting
the
in the
horn,
boat,
right? Yeah.
and literally, this was the greatest, it was so, and here's theatricality. This was a really theatrical effect. Sheen and the guys whoever was left, I can't remember, get in the boat, and the picture just fades out, and the theater curtain closes, and the house lights come up as you're still hearing the rain in Cambodia playing as the lights are coming up. So after the movie's over, the rain of that going home stays with you for like 30 seconds.
Wow.
As you get up to leave, which is, it's just giving me
That's
goosebumps
goosebumps.
to hear it.
Yeah, that's
It
amazing.
really is. And it was amazing. And it was like, I guess Francis couldn't figure out how the fuck would you do that on a DVD or something, or VHS.
Well,
So they just slap credits on it.
Did that version have while you're hearing the rain? Did you also hear Brando going the horror?
It has the horror, but
Okay.
but post
Then it keeps going.
that there was just more rain. There was just
Yeah.
ambient rain as the picture went out, the curtain went down, and the lights came up.
Well, I
And
think-
it probably was not even it wasn't that long, but it was long enough that you looked at the person next to you while there was that sound
Wow,
still.
yeah, that's
Yeah.
amazing.
Still
Well,
going.
he didn't want the credits on it, so that's why when they show up at Kurtz's compound, you can see on the wall it says copyright Apocalypse Now, because they had to have the copyright somewhere on the film.
Oh, is that right?
Are you
Yeah,
kidding me?
no, it's on the wall in the background. Yeah, when they're first walking up and everyone's there, it says copyright
Holy
Apocalypse Now.
shit.
That gets like written.
Yeah. It's like spray painted onto a wall.
What?
That's
I've never
hilarious.
seen that.
Yeah, and I think the ending with all the bombing was just they just tacked that on for the theatrical cut with credits. It was never intended. It was like a thing that they had this extra footage, and then they added it on.
It's just extra footage.
Yeah.
Isn't that copyright thing? Isn't that how? Remember when, like, in the dawn of DVDs, there'd be like movies like, I remember Charade was One-Eyed Jacks, that became like public domain.
Yeah, Night of the Living Dead too, because it was
Night of the
called
Living
the Night of the something, eating living corpses, and then when they changed the title, they no longer had copyright. So that movie's now has no copyright. I mean, it's public domain.
But I just wonder how these movies, big studio movies that fell into that hole. Like, how did that happen?
Yeah.
Didn't you get a copy of One-Eyed Jacks
Yeah.
that's like remastered?
Yeah, Criterion.
There's a new one.
Yeah. Criterion just put it out. It's
Criterion.
gorgeous. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's my first time seeing it. It's an interesting movie.
Yeah, it's really
Definitely.
cool.
When no,
I was going to say, is I watched some of the behind-the-scenes stuff on the One-Eyed Jacks, and there's all this great stuff about Brando. No, about Brando on One Eye Jack's getting, as the production went on, he kept getting fatter, as he did in life. And they have, if you cut the movie up and they shot it in order, you can see that by the end of the movie, he's wearing pants that are like 6 times the size of what he would look like at the beginning of the movie. Because he just got huge. And that's the same thing with him on Apocalypse Now, was that the reason why he's in shadow and he's photographed that way, which is so amazing, is because he was so fat, he was so insecure about being on screen, he wouldn't come out of the trailer. So Brandon said, I'll keep you in shadow. And I mean, all those stories are so good. That's
You know, Kubrick quit One Eye Jack. He was the original director of One Eye Jack. And Brando was just, himself and kooky, and like he had to decide between the horse and the other horse, or whatever, whatever. And Stanley was just like, fuck this. I mean, and that's like Damien Chazelle telling, Tom Cruise to fuck off right now or something. You know what I mean? Like, you're the young hot guy and you're just like, you know what, Marlon? Go fuck yourself. I got better things to do. And
it did.
And it did.
That's what, after Spartacus? That would have been? Yeah.
After Spartacus.
Yeah. You were mentioning earlier about how you don't like movies to tell you how to feel. Mm-hmm. I think most people would agree. But there's there's 2 things I want to say. First of all, and I wish I could articulate it, but I don't think that I can. I can watch about 5 or 10 minutes, and I can tell if it's a good movie.
Yeah, definitely.
And I know if it's a good movie. And it doesn't matter what genre it is. It could be a musical, it could be a romantic comedy. I don't give a shit. It doesn't matter what it is, but you can tell. And I don't know what that is.
Can I ask you, chaps, are there movies that you saw when you were really young, or maybe when you were a kid, and you didn't get it, and then later on, as you matured or aged or both, that you went, oh, now I get it, and you appreciate it?
For sure. I'm trying to recall one right now. I'm blanking, but definitely. What's one for you?
I mean, to me, it's just, one thing that I think we talked about this before. It's just, when I was a kid, to me, the things that seemed very important and spoke the truth were, like Clockwork Orange and things that were sort of dark, bloody, hard on the audience, brutal. And now it's like I watch, like an Ernst Lubitsch movie or something, or a screwball comedy, and those to me seem like they're as profound as a tragedy. And just that notion of comedy being able to be as profound and truthful as tragedy took a lot of time, I think, for me to get. Because the other thing seems, I don't know, it just seems so much more visceral.
Yeah, it's immediate.
Like you feel it.
Yeah.
There's also a lot of movies that I saw as a kid that I love that I've watched since, but I go, what the hell was I thinking?
Oh, yeah.
But I think you just touched on something that's important in terms of a good movie discussion, which is there's truth in them, and that's what's missing from almost everything. If there's any semblance of any truth or I would say sincerity in what the film is, whether it's making or what it's about or its story.
Just to speak to that, I saw something recently. Like one movie that I watch, I don't even think it's a great movie, but I watch it endlessly, is Magnolia. It was just a brilliantly directed movie. I don't think it's like the conception of it is that deep, but it's just a dazzling movie. And I've watched it a million times. And then I watched a trailer for the movie that was big at the exact same moment that Magnolia was coming out, which is American Beauty. And I don't know if you've seen that movie recently or anything. It is the most fucking dated.
It doesn't hold up.
So dated. Yeah. It looks like it came out 50 years ago. And it came out like literally the same time as Magnolia, which if you watch that movie now, it looks like it could have been made this morning.
Yeah, I just watched it last week.
It's
fantastic.
And it's dazzling, right?
I wish it wouldn't end. It just kept going and going and going.
Yeah.
I feel that way about Boogie Nights, too. Actually.
Yeah, for sure. But I remember the time everyone was like, I laughed and I cried. And
I remember that too.
I was like, it didn't really blow me away at the time, but man, if you look at it now, it's like, wow, really.
But what do you think about, I'm just going to make a case for something here. When you're talking about movies that have that truth or lack of truth, it's a problem. The whole back to the making you sort of telling you how to feel. Steven Spielberg is probably the one that people
The king
think
of
of,
telling you how to
right?
feel, yeah.
Okay, yeah. So,
He's great at it.
but for example, I really love like Close Encounters. I could probably name some others. I love Jaws. I am not ashamed to say that I really love some Spielberg. But usually you kind of know what you're going into, and he goes off in directions that you're talking about much further than the ones that I just mentioned. What do you think about him?
Let me ask you this: can you think of a Spielberg movie that has a sex scene in it?
And there's one.
Is there?
Munich. And it is the most awkward.
It's terrible. It's terribly written by Tony Kushner, too.
Yeah.
Terrible.
I like the movie Munich quite a bit, but that scene is incredibly awkward. And I think it's interesting to think about Spielberg in that he's very sentimental, but there's no sensuality, sexuality, or eroticism, but anything he's ever done.
Well, can I just tell you, this is the thing I always say to people who don't like Spielberg, and it never persuades anybody, but it's the deal to me. I don't know if are you guys fans of E.T.?
Oh, yeah.
That was a grim
I'm
look.
a much bigger fan of all the other amazing sci-fi movies that came out right around E.T. that failed because of E.T.
Like what? The Thing?
The Thing, Tron,
Yeah.
and there's one more in there that all came out.
Was
with
Tron good?
Well, Tron is.
I've never I saw the
new one.
New one, but I never saw
The original is unique in that it's the only movie that looks like that. It's
very
a
blue.
rear projected movie. The way that they did the effects, it's hand painted, rear projected, 70 millimeter. So it has it looks like nothing else. And it may not be the best movie, but it's amazing visually. And it's Sid Mead and Mobius doing all the design. So it just visually it's great.
Well, here's just I love E.T., but there's one thing in it that I've kind of studied it a bunch, and there's one thing in it that I think is really sublime, and it's something I can't at all put my finger on. But there's the ending, the climactic scene is when E.T. goes back on the ship, and I was there when the film came out, and I saw it with my grandfather, who's a guy who went through World War II, never went to see movies, crying his eyes out next to little kids who are crying, everyone's crying.
Yeah, I cried.
The world was crying. But the thing that's interesting is, in that scene, there's sort of a welling of emotion as E.T.'s going to go back. And then there's literally one beat, there's one shot where Dee Wallace, who plays Elliot's mom, is looking at the ship, and she drops to her knees. And every time, if you watch the movie E.T. with an audience, at exactly the moment where Dee Wallace drops to her knees, the whole audience bursts into tears. And I've watched this movie a million times, and I couldn't tell you why it is that one thing is the exact second when everybody loses their shit.
Do you lose your shit?
I do. I mean, I probably watched it so much that I'm a little immune, but yeah.
Same. I definitely did when I saw it in the theater.
It's kind of the music, but it's something about that falling that just it just pushes people over the edge. And you could watch it, I think, here or in Kathmandu, and the same audience would just lose their mind. That to me is just a sign of Spielberg's genius. Somehow he knew if I just ping that glass like that, it's going to make everyone's head explode. I don't know why.
I love a lot of Spielberg.
Well, why did you bring up Spielberg?
Because he's sort of the epitome of the guy who, from what you described as a bad movie, would make. Someone who would make. He brings in the music at the right time. He knows how to play the heartstrings. It's not necessarily about a lot of raw truth.
Right, but I guess you can't deny his craftsmanship.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
But I would also say is melodrama less truthful than realism? And I don't think it is.
Yeah, for example, what he does with suburban families around the kitchen table, I don't think anybody does it better, honestly. I mean, whether it's E.T. or Close Encounters or Jaws, he's done it many times, but he captures that better than anybody, I think. Yeah, I agree. We're almost at an hour, you guys, so we're going to wrap it up in just a minute, but maybe before we do, this has been fucking great. I'm having a really good time. I don't know, why don't we just say, let's talk about it. Do you guys have a movie or a couple maybe if you pop up in your head that if if you turned on the TV and it was on, you're fucked. You know you're there for the whole time. You can't. You
Oh my god.
Is there like
Bazillions.
Yeah. Okay. What is it? Mine would be Heat. Some people love or hate. This is a controversial thing because I didn't even know that people hate Heat, but there's a large contingent of people who think Heat is just garbage. I love it.
Well, I was just telling you I watched Straight Time. And Straight Time is Heat, or Heat is Straight Time in so many ways. Cameron giving me back my Heat book. But yeah, I had never seen Straight Time, and I watched it, and I just, to me, I was, this is just Heat. That man just basically took Straight Time and beefed it up, and I mean, I love Heat too, but yeah, it's very much heavily that bunker story.
Straight Time, yeah, it's great. There's a bajillion. Watch it if it came on middle JFK just somehow.
Oh, really?
Interesting.
Yeah.
I mean, that's. I could just watch that. I just watch the movie every day. I feel like.
Yeah, that's interesting.
So it's. I mean, it's. That movie kind of blows my mind because there's so much information downloaded in that movie. There's so many facts and things and connections and places and people, but it's just fucking riveting. And he had that idea of cast every single character with stars, so you remember each person. Oh, Jack Lemmon, and then
Right, Jack Lemmon,
and that guy, and Kevin Bacon, and that. So you know who they all are. And it could be like it's a mad world, but it's not. It doesn't. It just works.
Yeah.
I don't know. I find that movie just it's crippling. Like you just turn it on and
You're stuck.
into it.
That's an interesting choice. I like that.
I mean, again, for me, there's I don't know about bazillions, but dozens of movies that I would
Well, you can name a couple.
watch. Yeah, I mean, honestly, any Kubrick and any Carpenter.
Carpenter?
Both of those guys I could watch.
Any Carpenter?
Memoirs of
No.
an Invisible Man.
Not any Carpenter. We'll say the first, there's probably 3 or 4 that I wouldn't watch, but the rest I would.
I think Vampires is underrated.
Vampire is very underrated.
James Woods is very good.
Yeah. I think Carpenter only made 2 or 3 bad movies.
You know, Carpenter is actually, I think he's going to be one of those guys that after he's gone, is going to be recognized.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, in this country, because I think he's actually is more so in Europe.
Yeah.
Quite a bit.
I think people kind of get that the thing that's great now.
Yeah, that's coming around.
I remember when I was a kid, you guys probably don't remember this, Leonard Maltin used to be the film critic on Entertainment Tonight. And he'd give things numbers. And the only movie I ever saw Leonard Maltin give a 0 to was
That's the other movie that came out.
0 being the worst.
0.
Yeah.
The
Are
worst.
you fucking kidding me?
He would give Shelley Long movies a 1, but the thing got a fucking 0.
A 0.
Yeah.
Everyone
You know, the
hated
thing-
He was like,
The
this
thing
is
is
the
one of
most
my top-
disgusting, inhuman, foul movie. I was
What the
like,
fuck is wrong with you?
of all movies.
Honestly, that's probably in my top 5 favorite of all time.
But that's because
Seriously.
of E.T. E.T. fucked
Wow.
everybody up to a point where they couldn't see a movie about an alien that wasn't...
Well, they came out almost simultaneously.
Right.
I think was it 82? I think Blade Runner was that year.
Blade
too.
Runner came out a week after each.
Yeah. Wow. What a fucking trifecta.
How did that do when it came out?
Very bad.
Oh, yeah.
Very bad.
Yeah.
But you know what's great? It came out also at the same time that everybody forgets about is great. Poltergeist,
That's a great
which
movie.
is directed by Steven Spielberg.
Yes, it is.
Right.
Yep. Another one. Yeah, I love that movie. All right. We're a little over an hour.
All right.
This is
God
the kind
bless
of
you.
thing.
We're gonna end on
I'm so glad we
Poltergeist?
recorded this. No.
No, you go. You go.
You can wrap it over there, but before we should probably do this again. I could do this. I'm so glad we recorded this. This is one of those conversations where it's just like we should record it, right? We should, and we did, and we could go on for hours easily. I think we should do it again sometime. But do you want to do?
No, I don't have anything to add. I just was surprised it ended on Poltergeist.
what button would you like to hit? A little more.
This is your show, man.
Silence.
Yeah. You tell me.
Is there anything that we can cover one more little thing if you have something off the top of your head? You have something you want to say about some movie that you want to talk about? Did I cut you off a little early? Look like there is on your.
Okay, so you know what? I mean, just talking about this
Yeah.
best versus favorite thing.
Yeah.
I just want to encourage, if there's anybody listening, thinking about this just encourage people to broaden their horizons and look into things that may not be in your most immediate queue of stuff, and to look out beyond that, because I find that's always where the most interesting discoveries are. It's such a pleasure when something you didn't think was going to be good or you didn't know anything about it is good. It's the greatest feeling.
That's one of the best things is when you walk into a movie not knowing.
Or you hear it sucks and it turns out to be great, or
That's important too. When what you just said there, when you hear it sucks, because it's very, very easy. It's even for me when I hear that, I have to work on getting that bias out of the way. I have to pretend like I didn't hear that, and really see it for what it is for me. So,
what about when you hear how great a movie is and it sucks?
Oh yeah,
that's easier. Like I walk in and then just like.
Yeah, but it makes moving through the world that much more
difficult. That happens often.
When everyone's loving a mediocre movie at best, like maybe Love.
Okay. Go ahead.
Oh, I was just saying, I always feel all the time like there's so many critics I read that I feel like such and such a movie. If this person saw the movie not after the buzz at Sundance in Toronto and and everyone loved it, if they just sat in the room and someone showed them and said, "Okay, what do you think?" Would they jizz all over that movie?
Probably
a lot
not.
of them not.
Probably not.
A lot of them not.
Yeah.
They're re-parroting the hype.
Right.
I feel that a lot.
Yeah, more and more. I mean, there's this sort of. I mean, it's
because everybody's a critic, literally. Now.
Right,
it's not
but
the
it's
same as it used to be. Like
it's criticism has gotten just as polarized as politics almost. Where you say La La Land or God forbid Moonlight wasn't a good movie, you're going to get this.
Did you thought it was not a good movie?
I enjoyed Moonlight a lot more. Than
I know what you're saying, though. Politically, it's kind of sketchy to say that, even if it's kind of just to shit out. It's all of a sudden you're going to be stamped with all kinds of things. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just say
it's
it.
dangerous to have an opinion if it's not what everyone else is saying.
Yeah. It doesn't have to be. It doesn't have to be. But everybody is a critic now. Film criticism.
Well, I guess that's another.
Doesn't exist quite as much. It's out there.
Yeah, but that's another common factor between you're asking what is good movies.
Yeah.
All the good movies were hated when they came out. A lot of them were.
A lot of them. Do you have any critics that you really respect?
There's a lot.
I'll go to my.
Bilga Abiri, who writes for the Village Voice, is a great writer. Amy Taubin, who writes for Artform. Nick Pinkerton, who he writes for all different kinds of venues. He's great. Violet Luca, who writes for Film Comment. There are definitely really good. Sean Burns, who writes for Boston Papers. There's a lot of good writers out there. They're probably not the most. I don't know who is known now. I don't even know.
A big one, like
the New York Times critics, perhaps.
I don't
know.
A.O.
Scott and Manola Argis,
Mm-hmm.
who I think are good as well.
Yeah, it all gets overwhelmed by Twitter, though.
Really?
Yeah.
Do people not? You think they don't read that stuff?
No, I think they do, but I don't think it has the impact.
There's also probably a huge age, generational gap between who's reading what.
Yeah.
I don't think a lot of kids are reading.
I don't think a lot of kids are really seeing any movies.
And I don't think a lot of.
Yeah. When I was a kid, Pauline Kael was as big as a movie maker.
Yeah.
Like her opinion and her words, and everyone ran to read her.
Right.
And go, oh my God, she liked that. It was really like the tablets coming down from the mountain. I don't know that anyone has that power.
Right.
I don't know. We can.
All right.
We can talk about Schrader for 5 minutes.
Okay, we'll give that.
I just rewatched Schrader's first. It was for the run from
Cat People.
Cat People, Mishima, American Gigolo, and I'm blanking on the fourth. But I watched
Hard Four.
Did he do Blue Collar?
Blue Collar.
No? Was it that or?
No, it wasn't Hardcore. I've seen Hardcore before. But even just the trio of American Gigolo, Cat People especially, and Mishima the most were I was blown away. I had no idea that he had made such amazing.
Well, his new film is a very spiritual movie, kind of like Silence, and I think people will find it is very daring and very unlike his other work.
This one's coming out next from
It has one more week to shoot, I think, in 2 weeks. A movie with Ethan Hawke called First Reform. about a little church being devoured by a megachurch, and it's fantastic spread.
Did you like the canyons?
Did I like the canyons? I think the first 2/3 of the canyons are solid, and then there's like a lot of running around, screaming, and knives and stuff that's kind of stupid. But I thought he did a good job in that, making it look good. It was a very, very, I found out later, a very low budget movie, like $250,000. And it's a very, Douglas Sirky kind of glitz, sleek looking movie.
That was a movie that everybody hated.
Do they? That was one of those things. Like, do people really hate it, or were they just like told to hate it?
That's what I'm talking about.
Right.
That's exactly what I'm talking about. I think it's overwhelmed by Twitter. I'm just pulling Twitter on behalf, but this public.
Right.
I remember seeing it being like, this isn't the fucking worst movie ever made.
It was because of the casting. The casting is what people couldn't get past. Namely, it wasn't Sigourney.
Yeah.
That was people were just incapable of watching the movie and not seeing her. Because everything I've heard about it is how bad she is. Which I don't even think she's that bad in the movie.
She's not bad.
It's just that her celebrity overshadows everything else.
Okay, this is how we're going to have it. I'm going to give you guys, this is it for real.
Okay.
I'm going to give you this mic. You guys can both talk about, if you want, to whatever degree you want, what you guys have going on in the future. Because I know you're both making some things, you're working on it. And you don't have to include the one that we...
No.
Unfortunately, I can't say too much publicly. There's not a lot to announce. But there's things coming. Well,
you can tell people how to follow you. How do they keep track?
You can find me on Instagram. I go by Freedman on Instagram. And I'm also on the old Facebook. And that's about it. That's about it.
Well,
I'm directing a movie that I wrote called Morning Has Broken with Lydia Hurst, brilliant actress, and Peter Bogdanovich, who you do know. This is the largest role he's ever had in anything ever.
that's upsetting. That's cool.
Yeah, it's like a two character. Not really, but it's a, kind of a two-hander. So we're doing that in the first half of this year. It shoots in LA. And then I have a movie that I wrote. It's a bigger movie that my friend Robert Schwenke, you guys know him? He did Red and the Divergent movies, and Flight Plan and stuff like that. It's a movie called Bad Company that's about Robert Evans and the Cotton Club murders, the crime that swirled around the making of the Cotton Club in the early 80s.
That's super cool.
And that is going to happen at the end of 2017. Robert's shooting a movie in Germany now, but Bad Company is going to happen.
So it's in pre-production?
Yes, it is.
Oh, nice.
It's K5, the company that did Jim Jarmusch's Patterson.
Wow,
The
okay.
producers, and they're really, really groovy.
Did you like that?
Yeah. I was all right. It's not my favorite Jarmusch, but it's good.
How do people follow you for that? To track your movies and what you're doing with that? Is it Facebook?
All wild. Facebook.
I'm going to put your link on the blog. All right. So anything else you want to say real quick before we wrap it up?
No.
All right. You? No? Nothing wise at?
Keep going to protest President 45 in public. Because he apparently gets really pissed when he sees those aerial photos of masses of bodies. That really does get to him. So, stay outdoors.
He's a thin-skinned bro.
Let's see.
You keep going to the movies.
Keep going to
If you don't keep
go
going,
to the
there won't be
theater.
any left. You know?
Yeah. Buy tickets. Buy tickets to good ones. Don't go to the Chihuahua 3.
Yeah, vote with your dollar.
All right, guys. Thanks.
Thank you.
So that was Matthew Wilder and Daniel Freedman, you guys, and this was the movie episode, our cinephile episode. Let me know what you guys think about that. You can always email me at triumphanddisasterblog@gmail.com. triumphanddisasterblog@gmail.com. I'll get back to you. I don't have any cut and dry rules about how I do this show. I just don't. So I tried something a little different, just a conversation about this particular thing. So let me know what you thought about that. If you want more, or if you want different subject matter, if you have any suggestions with who, any of that kind of stuff. And if you like it, please consider leaving a rating and review on iTunes. It really helps Apple to promote the show. Really appreciate that. And on every blog post of Triumph and Disaster blog is a PayPal button. And I do everything on my own dime. So if you can drop even what you pay for coffee, it'd really help the show out. And I'll make sure to give you credit and call you out in the show by name if you'd like. Unless you say anonymous, I'm going to call you out by name because I think you really deserve that credit. So we'll see you next week. Thanks, guys.